All right, so good news and bad news. The good news is we got a really good story we're going to record. The bad news is I didn't get it done for Friday. Something came up this week, and kind of last minute, I ended up running the National Farm Machinery Show for a day. I suppose I could have done some content while I'm down there, but I kept getting sidetracked by everybody, so we just went and had fun and hung out, and it was a good time. But that screwed up my story that we were supposed to be recording. So hopefully tomorrow we can get it done. We're trying our best to have it done this weekend. It's a really, really neat one. If you followed me at all on some of the other stuff, you know that there was a farmer named Don that I learned a lot from and helped a lot when I was younger. And we're going to interview one of his sons. And it's fitting because the newest Heritage Iron magazine article was about Don and one of his Magnum, his 7120. So we're going to do that yet this weekend. So I will get that done. I'm just going to show you guys, we'll do a little update. I'll show you the cattle today. I'll show you that article, by the way. And just a short little video. And I ground feed last weekend before the weather got really cold. So I'll give you a clip of that old John Deere feed mill, grinding feed. So yeah, sorry it's late. Some stuff came up. And kind of last minute this week, I ended up running to Louisville, which was cool to do, but I didn't forget you guys. For sure, we're planning this, so I'll show you the cattle. Little update there. You can see the feed mill in action, or you can just come back tomorrow if you don't want to see that stuff. But I really do appreciate it. When I was down in Louisville, I ran into a lot of people that watch these, and I really do appreciate this. So thanks a lot. So here is the article on Don's Magnum. This is the newest issue of Heritage Iron. Should be going out on newsstands right now. So if you go out and pick it up, if you're not a subscriber currently, then yeah, go out and buy an issue or subscribe. I write for them every 2 months. So I've been gone since Monday. So my daughter has been taking care of the cattle, but it looks like she's kept them bedded. They're looking all right. It's snowing and it's supposed to get a lot colder here. So they're going out. We kick them outside to clean barn and get everything out for them. But they're doing pretty good. The big one, she's bagging up. The Herefords are growing pretty good. So hopefully we pick up a few more, but man, they're so expensive right now. So we're going slow, but like I said, I'd like to get up to 30 cow-calf pairs, but yeah. Hey, bossy. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing all right. But it's supposed to be really cold. This one's just starting to kind of bag up a little bit, so I think she's due in April, but they like that snow. I still really, makes me happy. I love seeing the lights on in the barn when it's cold and snowing and winter. And, yeah, so well, I better do chores, but yeah, I'm gonna put up a eulogy at the end of this, because we lost Sig Weiss. And if you saw the video I did with Sig Weiss, it was a really good one. So if you haven't seen that, go check out the video I did with Sig Weiss. It was like a year ago. But we lost Sig Weiss, who was one of the founders of Tractor Central, MDMA, Duran Implement. So I'm going to put that up at the end of this. So we'll have a clip of the feed mill and stuff, but I'll put up a eulogy for Sig that I did on TikTok. So anyways, I will record the good story here and get it up for you guys hopefully this weekend. So sorry I'm late. All right. Thank you. All right, so we're driving feed again. And if you didn't see this feed mill, this is a really neat old feed mill. 400 John Deere. And I got the 856 with my dual loader on it. So, starting to look like a livestock farm around here. Yeah, this feed mill is in really nice shape. Got the pellets in there. You know, when it comes to machinery market share, the manufacturer itself is really important, right? I mean, you've got the product and financing, all that is important. But next to that, the most important part is having a good dealer. You know, if you've ever been into an area and you're like, wow, why is there so much, say, white farm equipment? Or, you know, say Gleaners or something like that, or Massey Ferguson. And you're like, I didn't even know, say, Oliver made a flail chopper or something like that. You're like, they couldn't have sold hardly, 20 of those. But in that neighborhood, everything was that color. And it was because they had a really good dealer. You know, having a good dealer is the difference between having a really good feeling about an OEM and being downright, angry with them. Let's face it, there's dealers that will take care of you, and there's dealers that are just in it for the money. And a good dealer is probably the reason why I'm as John Deere now as I am. And sadly, that dealer passed last week. So Sig Weiss, one of the founders of Durant Implement, MDMA, and then Tractor Central, died last weekend. And Sig was a big part of why I am John Deere. This tractor came right from Sig's dealership, his home dealership, Durant. Clifford here was sold brand new at Durant Implement. So my close friends know that I grew up, liking IH and Case IH. My dad liked red stuff. I farmed with red stuff. Don farmed with, both colors, but I was, for the most part, a red farmer fan, I guess, That didn't mean that I hated John Deere, though. Like, I've always liked 4440s. But for the most part, I was red. When I started farming on my own, it was with red stuff. Now, when I say farming on my own, like, I was on my own at 21. It was my farming. And I don't know if some of you guys will ever understand what that's like. And I'm not knocking you if you were part of your family's operation. But people look at young farmers different, especially when they're not part of a family farm, like a big family farm. And I'll explain why that, was really important to have someone respect you as a young farmer. But I was a red equipment, I started out with red equipment. And I was always really fussy about my tractors. This goes back. And it had to be OEM filters. I wanted to take care of everything. And like the Case IH dealers I do business with, they really didn't care. They were kind of like, young farmer, whatever. You didn't get the magazines from them. You didn't get anything. As a matter of fact, I went to apply for a Case Credit app so I could have a charge account with a Case IH dealer. He never even sent it in. No like thank yous or anything from them guys, And it's like, whatever. I had red equipment. I'm a small farmer, I guess. There's bigger farmers that are, the bigger farmers are more important. Well, one of the first things I had to finance to buy when I was farming on my own was I bought a John Deere 1219 haybine. I needed a haybine, and they had a really nice one. This was, before everybody was finding their, doing all their, equipment purchases online. It was local, it was nice, and I could afford it as much as I could afford equipment. And I bought that from Mondovi Implement, which was originally MDMA was Mondovi, Duran, Menominee, and Arcadia. And I bought that haybine from them and financed it through Deere Credit. I put as much down as I could, and I got the Furrow magazine. For years, they sent me the Furrow magazine, and I don't know, I didn't pay $5,000 for that haybine. So when it came to tractor shopping, and I went to buy a nicer tractor, my first really nice tractor, I was looking at red stuff, and I ended up looking at a couple of green ones, and I just fell in love with them. But when I bought my first 4450, Arcadia Implement was selling that tractor, and I made a deal with Ellsworth Equipment, the New Holland dealer they were part of MDMA, but they didn't get a letter. So they were the odd one. But the salesman there sold me my 4450 off of Arcadia's lot, and he sold it to me cheap. It was 2003. Milk prices were terrible, and he sold it to me cheap. And our corporate approved it. And Arcadia was pissed. And they're like, nope, we're not letting it go. And the salesman at Ellsworth Equipment was like, well, we have a deal. Corporate says I can sell this. And they said, nope, we're not going to let it go. And they dug their heels in and got all pissed off. And I'll never forget, he said he called Sig Weiss himself, the man, the president of MDMA, and told him, hey, I made this deal, and Arcadia won't let it go. I got approval and everything. And Sig goes, what's the story? And he told him, he says, well, they have this 4450 they wanted a lot of money for. We made an offer. Times were hard. You guys, the whole thing was they wanted to move stuff. We made an offer, and corporate said okay, and Arcadia won't let it go. And Sig told him, he goes, he's a young dairy farmer, farming on his own. Not part of a family farm, but he owns his own farm. And Sig goes, well, then he should get his tractor. And he called Arcadia and said he gets his tractor. Or maybe he told Tom to call him and told them to call him if there's anything else. But I'll never forget that. And over the years, Duran Implement has been awesome to me. All the MDMA stores were awesome to me. And it's continued on with Tractor Central. But Duran Implement is my John Deere dealer. So it was not awesome to hear that Sig died, but he was in some pretty tough shape, But, man, he was a great guy. I had a chance to sit down and record a story with him, and I'm so glad I did. So you should go to YT and check that out. But like I said, a good dealer is almost as much as the manufacturer as to what equipment, you're going to buy. Oh, and I had a great time down in Louisville. I was only down there on Wednesday. But I met a lot of you guys, and it's awesome. So thank you to everybody for being, so nice. So, well, I got to go get some stuff done. Gonna do a fun story this weekend. So I'm a day late at least on our Friday story. But anyways, you guys have a good night. And yeah, it's winter here. It's snowing, cold. I gotta go see the cattle. So, all right, you guys have a